Today, we're going to talk about a growing issue that affects a lot of people: scams that use a simple, everyday USB drive. You might get one in the mail, maybe as a gift, or even just find one lying on the ground. They look harmless, but they can hide a really serious risk. Now, our goal here is really simple. It's to help you stay aware, stay calm, and stay safe. This isn't about scaring anyone, not at all. It's just about giving you the knowledge you need to protect yourself. Okay, so let's get into it. So, you're probably wondering, how can something so common, a simple USB flash drive, actually be a threat? Well, it's because scammers have gotten clever. They're loading these little things up with malicious software, basically using them as a backdoor to get into your personal devices and grab your information. So, how do these things even end up in our hands? Well, that's the interesting part. You might see them being handed out as free gifts at a trade show or a conference. Or, and this is a classic trick, they're just dropped in public places. Think about it: a coffee shop, a parking lot, anywhere you might find one. Sometimes they even get mailed right to your house, looking like some kind of corporate gift or a prize you've won. All right, so let's walk through how this actually unfolds into a scam. It all really starts with simple human curiosity. I mean, you find a drive, right? And your first thought is probably, I wonder what's on this. And that feeling, that's exactly what the scammers are counting on. And to make that temptation even stronger, the drive might have a little note with it, or maybe a label on it, something that says, "You want a prize, plug in to see the details." It's designed to create that fear of missing out, to make you feel like you have to plug it in right away. Okay, so what happens the moment you give in and plug it in? Well, a whole chain reaction kicks off, and it happens in an instant. First, malware can silently install itself in the background. You wouldn't even see a thing. Then it can start copying your personal files, recording every single password you type. And it can even hijack your computer, making it part of a bigger network that hackers control. And believe it or not, some of these attacks are even more advanced. They use something called a bad USB, or you might hear it called a USB rubber ducky. Now, the easiest way to think about this is the USB drive pretends it's a keyboard. It literally tricks your computer. And once it does that, it can start typing and running harmful commands all by itself. And this all happens in just a few seconds. And this isn't just some theoretical threat, This stuff happens in the real world. For example, back in 2022, a company went through a really serious data breach. And how did it start? Employees got these USB drives in the mail that were labeled employee reward. A few people plugged them in, and boom, ransomware was installed, locking up all the company's data. Okay, so after hearing all that, the big question is, how do you protect yourself? And here's the good news. The defense against this is actually very, very straightforward. You don't need to be a tech genius. It really just comes down to a little bit of caution and awareness. So let's walk through the most important steps you can take. First, and this is the big one, the golden rule: never plug an unknown USB drive into your computer, period. If you didn't buy it yourself or get it from someone you absolutely trust, just don't use it. Second, and this goes for those drives you might find lying around in public places, just avoid them. I know it's tempting, but your curiosity is just not worth the risk. Third, there's a simple setting on your computer called auto run. Go ahead and disable that. It's a really powerful safety measure that stops things from starting up automatically when you plug something in. And finally, look, if you absolutely must check a drive for some reason, please use a separate computer that is completely offline, not connected to the internet. That way you can keep any potential threat contained. So really, the core principle it all boils down to is this simple phrase: stop, think, and verify. Before you plug anything into your device, just take that extra moment to consider where it came from. It's kind of funny when you think about it. A USB drive is such a small, physical thing, right? But the digital damage it can cause, it's just massive. It's a really good reminder that so much of our digital safety comes down to these simple, real-world decisions we make every day. Again, the goal here is not to make you afraid of technology. Not at all. It's just about staying informed and being a little cautious, because awareness really is your best protection. If you stay alert, you stay safe. So, I'll leave you with that thought. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe and stay aware. And if you found this helpful, think about sharing it with your friends or family. A little bit of awareness can make a huge difference.